Hello folks, and they are some of the products you'll be seeing in this news video. But before we get down to the nitty-gritty, a couple of things. Firstly, you are watching this video on YouTube now, but there are others out there who have been watching this video for at least a couple of days, and they are on Patreon. This is an early bird offering for Patreon users. So if you sign up for, I think it's £4 or is it $5, €5 in that area, you qualify for the early bird video option. So you will get a first bite of all my videos before they appear on this channel. That's the first bit. The second bit, well, that relates more to this video, and it basically relates to timing, or seasonal timing, I should say. When the hi-fi industry does its thing, and it does its thing throughout the year, it sells products, makes products right across the year. Nevertheless, it is a seasonal business, as many businesses are, in that Christmas is a big time. That's a major part of the year to sell stuff, basically. But there's a rhythm to this selling palaver, and it's this. Around about now, around about sort of late August and throughout September, hi-fi companies will issue news on forthcoming product. And then in October, they'll be looking to place actual reviews of the same products online or in print magazines. And then November, December, they want to sell all of those products you've just seen the review of. So there's a bit of time for you to get down the shops or click a few buttons on Amazon or wherever and buy those products which have just been reviewed. So there's a cycle. Hence, now is the time when you see lots of product announcements for hi-fi components. This is the reason why I'm doing another news video pretty soon after the last one. When was the last one? About 2 weeks ago, give or take. But there's lots going on in newsy terms. So that's the reasoning behind that. But let's get on with that first news item, shall we? Now we've got a bit of a speaker thing going on. Don't know why, it's coincidental, I suppose, but there's a bit of a speaker surge happening at the moment in terms of announcements for new products. And we're going to begin with the UK audiophile outfit Neat. And the company has just announced the Majistra. This is the fourth model in Neat's Strata range. Now this new model follows the format of the stand-mounted Ministra model, but in a larger form, using the drive unit lineup from the top of the range Orchestra. All of the fundamental design features of the Strata range are present in this new speaker. So that means an isobaric bass configuration, there's a ribbon tweeter in the cabinet there, and there's a separate sub-baffle for the front drive units. And like all Neat speakers, the crossover inside the cabinet has been created using point-to-point wiring. Something I like. It gives it a bit of a handmade feel, and I don't know, I just like that. It also says to me that this thing can be repaired if it goes pear-shaped. Not suggesting it will, and I'm sure it'll last a lifetime without any problems at all. But do you know what I mean? It's been made by hand, it can be repaired by hand. So I like the whole point-to-point thing. The tweeter on this new speaker is a Fyne 60mm true ribbon with a slight modification of the foam trim plate. The bass drivers are 164mm peerless units with a coated paper cone. Dimensions are 380mm by 220 by 300mm in total. Sensitivity for these speakers will be around 87 decibels. And the weight, well, they're fair weight, 10.5 kilograms each. As for the price, they price out at £3,495 a pair, and they'll be shipping from mid-September. Another UK outfit for you, and we're looking at Fyne. And they've announced the F500SP. At the heart of the F500SP is a 150mm isoflare driver. In addition to that, you'll also find a 25mm magnesium dome compression tweeter. Now, the mid-bass unit, the 150mm driver I mentioned, features a multi-fiber cone and is terminated with a fine flute roll surround, and that's set in a rigid aluminium chassis. Now, that tweeter for the higher frequencies, that's driven by a neodymium magnet, and it uses heat sinking and a vented rear chamber. The original F500 model has been enhanced for this SP variant with a new and stronger cabinet made of denser fiberboard, along with a bass tracks porting system using a Tactrix profile diffuser mounted on a thick aluminium base plate. You'll also find a matching pair of FS6 stands that you can buy with the speakers. Also, these speakers have been designed in such a way that they're less temperamental in terms of room positioning. You can position them in different areas without them complaining too much, according to the company. So you've got more options in terms of your positioning choice here. As for the crossover, well, many of the components and the circuit architecture have trickled down from the higher end F700 model. In terms of finish, well, there's the usual high gloss white and high gloss black. There's also a new deep gloss lacquered walnut veneer option. And then the grills on the outside are attached by concealed magnets. You'll be able to buy these speakers in September of 2021, and in terms of price, well, you're looking at $1,300 for the piano gloss black or white. For that new veneer option, the price is a little bit more, $1,500, and as for those speaker stands, you're looking at £500 a pair. Next up, we're looking at a pair of headphones from Audio-Technica. Audio-Technica ATH-M50xBT2 wireless headphones arrive with proprietary 45mm drivers plus an in-app EQ adjustment option. Inside you'll find an AK4331 DAC and dedicated internal headphone amplifier. As for Bluetooth codecs, you get the usual SBC plus AAC and LDAC. Inside these headphones are dual microphones and something that Audio-Technica calls beam forming. This, according to the company, produces clearer phone calls, and it also includes the Amazon Alexa voice assistant. And if you do take a phone call while you're wearing these headphones, incidentally, there's some circuitry inside the headphones which allow you to hear your own voice while you're undertaking that conversation, which you don't always get with some headphones with the built-in microphones. There are volume controls, as you might expect, relating to these headphones, along with a mute button. Access to the voice assistant is also available through a press of a button on the left ear cup. You also get multi-point pairing, and this basically means that you're able to connect to 2 Bluetooth devices at the same time, while Google Fast Pair enables you to pair the headphones with an Android smartphone or similar device. As for battery use, well, you'll probably get around a fairly healthy 50 hours on a single charge with these headphones. Even with a 10-minute rapid charge option, you're still going to get 3 hours, which ain't bad at all. And that's via the built-in USB socket. You also get a 1.2mm cable. If the battery goes down and you've forgotten to charge the headphones, you can still use these headphones in a wired configuration. The ATH-M50xBT2 headphones are out right now, and the price, well, that is either £180 or €199, or indeed $199. But back to speakers. Next up, we're looking at the Bowers & Wilkins 800 series. More specifically, the new 800 series Diamond range, which continues to feature 7 models, beginning with the two-way 805D4 stand-mounted models. That's joined by a series of 3-way floor standers. They include the 804D4, the 803D4, and the 802D4. For the flagship model, the launch of the 801D4 replaces the existing 800D3. There's also a few speakers relating to AV home theatre use, but I won't be going into those here. I'll put a link down below and you can check out that link and see more about those. In fact, I'll put links for all of the news items mentioned in this video. The new range now includes a satin walnut finish, joined by the established selection of gloss black, white and satin rose nut. Every stereo model in this new range includes a rigid aluminium top plate to replace the previous wooden top plate. The profile of the new aluminium top is finished by, and I quote, "leather by Connolly," in black for dark cabinets or light grey for lighter finishes. Every model in the range adopts a revised version of the solid body tweeter on top housing, with a new elongated tube loading system plus a new 2-point decoupling system that isolates it from the rest of the loudspeaker. Now, this solid body tweeter is milled from a solid piece of aluminium, and the aluminium itself has been anodized and tinted depending on the color of the cabinet underneath. The 805D4 and 804D4 stereo models adopt the reverse wrap cabinet design. This new form reduces the profile of each cabinet's front baffle. It also means that the crossover inside has been positioned inside its own dedicated little space at the back of the speaker. And while I'm about it, the 804 model also includes a downward firing bass port. For the mid-range drivers, the new composite biomimetic suspension replaces the conventional fabric spider to, and I quote, "reduce unwanted air pressure." These same mid-range drive units also include an all aluminium chassis featuring something called tuned mass dampers to quieten any resonance. As for prices, well, the top of the range 801s come out at £30,000. Next one down, the 802s, well, they're £22,000. The 803s are £16,000. The 804s are £9,400 for a pair, and the 805s are a mere £6,250 for a pair. And from these hi-fi high-end components, we're going to go right down to the other end of the price scale here for a budget turntable from Lenco. Now, Lenco as a brand name actually celebrates its 75th anniversary, so happy birthday, Lenco. I know, Lenco is not the same company it was, it's a different animal, but even so, 75 years, not bad. And I've got two budget turntables to show you this time round. First up is the Lenco L92WA. This is a belt-driven turntable with an included dust cover. You also get a pre-installed phono amplifier inside the plinth, and you won't be surprised to hear, I'm sure, that the cartridge which you also get in this package is the veteran Audio-Technica ATH-M50xBT2. The dual speed design is also a semi-automatic because the L92WA includes an auto return function for the tone arm. That means the arm returns to its cradle when the record has finished playing. Now, I've had some viewers in the comments on different videos who've asked me for a semi-automatic or even an automatic turntable, and do I know of any? Well, this is one option, I'm sure. The price for the L92WA, well, that's £249. But we're not done. We're also looking at another budget turntable. This one is a direct drive model, and it's the L3809. This one arrives with an aluminium platter, and it also includes a built-in phono amp, but in addition to that you get a USB port so you can rip your vinyl to a digital file if you wish. This is also a twin speed design, and it also includes a dust cover, and it retails for £240. Now, I have reviewed the earlier model, the L3808, in the past, also a direct drive model, and I quite like this. And I've also noted that the 9 model, as opposed to the 8 model, the 9 model is, well, rather more compact. It moves some of the interface furniture around to reduce the size of the plinth, and it looks pretty interesting, actually, I would say. So I've decided to grab a review copy. I'll be putting a request in just as soon as I finish this video, and I'll be doing a head-to-head, hopefully, with the L3808, the older model, and this newer L3809. Look out for that in the future. Finally, and we're going to finish on speakers. I told you it was a speaker-friendly hi-fi news video. These speakers, well, they're powered, and they're from Q Acoustics. These speakers have a built-in 103 watt amplifier, and they feature aptX Bluetooth spanning 279 by 170 millimeters by 296 millimeters. These speakers weigh in at 5.5 kilograms for the powered speaker, and the passive slave speaker, that's slightly lighter because it doesn't include the amplifier and all the other bits and pieces. That's slightly lighter at 5.1 kilograms. The speakers themselves offer a decoupled 22mm tweeter to minimize vibration, plus a 125mm mid-bass driver, and there's a rear firing bass port to boot. These speakers are equipped with Bluetooth 5.0, and they support streaming up to 24-bit 48K. You can also connect these speakers to a computer via the built-in speaker's USB port, and in that wired mode it will support up to 24-bit 192. And there's also a subwoofer output if you need that. Inside is the company's point-to-point internal bracing. Why? Well, you want the cabinet to be as stiff and as vibration-free as possible. It does really help the sound. So this point-to-point malarkey certainly helps that. As well as being able to designate the powered speaker as either the left or the right channel to make accessing mains power as simple as possible, there's also an EQ switch to let the system know if each speaker is positioned in a corner or against a wall or in free space. So positioning these speakers should be pretty simple in any room environment, or whether it's on a desk or wherever these speakers may end up. The Acoustics M20 HD wireless music system is priced at $399 all in, and is available now. And that's it, folks, from a decidedly speaker-esque video. Hope you enjoyed it. A couple of extra news items did appear on my desk, so it's coming in thick and fast. So expect to see more news videos in the near future. I want to thank you for your support, for staying to the end of this video, and also for clicking on the like and subscribe buttons. And if you haven't already done that, can you do that for me, please? Would that be all right? I'd appreciate it if you could. Don't forget to check the description below. It has all kinds of links to my website and my Facebook group, and also my Patreon page if you'd like to support what I do here. I'll be back with another video next time around. So, until that time, because I'd like to have your company, of course. Until that time, folks, bye-bye for now.